class. I am Dr. Bindu Malviya. I welcome you all to the second part of entrepreneurship development lecture. So, in the last lecture we have discussed about the introduction of entrepreneurship, the concept of an entrepreneur. We have also seen the difference between entrepreneur and intrapreneur. We have seen the difference between entrepreneur and entrepreneurship. We have discussed the difference between the entrepreneur and the manager. We have seen different attributes, characteristics of an entrepreneur. Then we discussed about what are the various characteristics of a successful entrepreneur. Today we are going to discuss the remaining part of the lecture. That is, today we are going to discuss about role of entrepreneur in the economic development of a country. Then we will see the process of entrepreneurship. Then we will see some examples of successful young entrepreneurs in India in present. Then we will move ahead with the classification of entrepreneurs. Then what are the various entrepreneurship avenues available, and later on we will also see the entrepreneurship opportunities as well as the challenges. Now we will see what is the role of an entrepreneurship in the economic development of a country, especially in case of a developing country like India. So the entrepreneurship plays different various roles in economic development, such as wealth creation and sharing resources. Then it is also helpful in job creation. It helps in balanced regional development. It helps in increasing the GDP and per capita income of the country. Then it enhances the standard of living. It is very beneficial in case of exports, and last but not the least, it is very useful for the community development of a country. So friends, as far as wealth creation and sharing is concerned, we all know that the entrepreneurs establish the business entity, and they invest their own resources and attract capital through debt or equity from the investors, lenders, or from the public. This helps in mobilizing the public wealth and allows people benefit from the success of the entrepreneurs and growing businesses. This kind of pooled capital that results in wealth creation and distribution in as one of the basic imperatives and goals of economic development. Now, it plays an important role in the job creation as well. So, friends, we all know that in today's scenario, there is a problem of unemployment. So, the entrepreneurs are by nature and definition, they are the job creators as opposed to the job seekers. A simple translation is that when you become an entrepreneur, there is one less job seeker in the economy, and then they provide employment for multiple other job seekers. So this kind of job creation by new and existing businesses is again one of the basic goals of economic development. So that is the reason why the government of India, PM Modi ji, has launched various initiatives such as Startup India to promote and support new startups, and also other like Make in India, Make in India, Made in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. All these initiatives are to attract the foreign companies and their FDI into the Indian economy, and this will indirectly lead to job creation. Next is the role which is played by the entrepreneurship is the balanced regional development. So the entrepreneurs set up new businesses and industrial units which help in the regional development by locating in less developed and backward areas, helps in the growth of industries and businesses in those areas, and these leads to infrastructure improvements such as better roads, rail links, airports, then stable electricity and water supply, and schools, hospitals, shopping malls and other public and private services that would not otherwise be available for the rural, for the regional developments. So this is how it promotes balanced regional development. Then another important thing is like India's MSME sector, that is Ministry of Small Medium Enterprises, comprised of 36 million units that provide employment for more than 80 million people, now accounts for over 37% so 37% of the country's GDP. So each new addition to these 36 million units make use of even more than resources like land, labor and capital to develop products and services that add to the national income, national product and per capita income of the country. And this growth in GDP and per capita income is again one of the essential goals of economic development of a country. It also contributes in enhancing the standard of living of the countrymen. So increasing the standard of living of the people in a community is yet another key goal of economic development. So entrepreneurs play an important role in increasing the standard of living of the community. They do how they do this? They do this just not by creating jobs, but also by developing and adopting innovations that lead to improvements in the quality of life of their employees, customers and other stakeholders in the community. So for example, automation. So what automation does? The automation reduces the production cost and enables faster production, productive, and while also providing its customers with the same goods at lower prices. So this is how it enhances the standard of living. Now, it is also very helpful in the exports. Every country whose exports are more than imports, that is going to develop. So they also, the entrepreneurs also play an important role in the exports. Any growing business will eventually want to get started with exports to expand their business in the foreign markets. So this is an important ingredient of economic development, since it provides the access to big markets and leads to currency inflows and access to the latest cutting edge technologies and process being used in more developed foreign markets. Another key benefit is that this expansion that leads to more stable businesses revenue during economic turndowns in the local economy. So this is how it is very useful and how it promotes the exports. Now last but not the least point, that is the community development. So as we have discussed, this entrepreneurship also leads to the standard of enhancing the standard of living, and it is helpful in increasing the GDP, also the national income. Now the economic development does not always translate into community development. We cannot say that always the economic development leads to community development, but entrepreneurship play a dual role. In addition to the economic development, it also helps in the community development. Community development requires infrastructure for education, training, healthcare and other public services. For example, if you need highly educated and skilled workers in the community to attract new businesses, if there are educational institutions, technical training schools and internship opportunities, that will help build pool of educated and skilled workers. So we can take a good example of community development that is promoted by Aziz Premji, who is the chairman of Wipro Limited. He has donated rupees 27,540 crores for promoting education through the Aziz Premji Foundation. This foundation works with more than 3,50,000 schools in 8 states across India. So this is how the entrepreneurs not only help in the economic development, but also they are very helpful in promoting the community development of a country. So these are the various important roles which are played by the entrepreneurship for the economic development of a country, and especially with reference to the developing country like ours. Now we will see what is the entrepreneurship process. So broadly, the entire process is being divided into 6 stages. So if anyone, a person like you or me, if we want to become an entrepreneur, so what would be the first step? The first thing is one has to identify an opportunity. If there is an opportunity, here opportunity means, in simple words I can say that opportunity means one has to identify the problem. What is the problem in the society related to the product, related to the services, or related to any other aspects. So where there is a problem, once the problem is identified, then the entrepreneur can think of the solution, and that solution may be in the form of a product or in the form of a service. After the identification of opportunity, the next step is establish a vision. Vision means the entrepreneur must be able to foresee that after 10 years, after 15 years, after 20 years, what is going to happen and what all is required to survive in future. So he must have a great vision, he must be a visionary, he must be able to imagine that what is going to happen after 20 years, after 25 years, so that the business will not fail in future. The next is persuade others. Persuade others means the entrepreneur must start convincing others that whatever business opportunity he is thinking of, that is doable, that is feasible. Initially, you know what people, when any person comes with a novel idea, with an innovative ideas, people start laughing. They don't believe and they do not support such new things. So they are very reluctant to change. So in such situation, the entrepreneur must be very bold and face such situation very boldly, and he must be ready to persuade others. He must be able to take the risk, to take the challenge. After that, if he is himself convinced, and then he will go for the gathering the resources. Resources for doing any business, you all know that resources are very important. It can be land, it can be capital, it can be manpower, it can be anything, finance, so many things, raw material, so many things are required. It also includes the technology. So he must think of gathering the resources, what is the need of resources, how much resources is required, and how these resources can be acquired. The next step is create new venture, product or a market. Then after thinking upon the resources, then the next step is to go ahead with the idea. And in in the design thinking model, this step is known as the prototyping. And the next is change, adapt with the time. And finally, the entrepreneur start with the venture, and he must be ready to change according to the change of the time, need of the hour, need of the understand the customer taste, understand the change in the time, the customer needs. So all these things must be kept in mind, and the venture must be implemented or executed. So class, here we will see some of the very young entrepreneurs from India, like Ritesh Agrawal. You all must have heard about him. He is the owner of Oyo Rooms. Then another very young entrepreneur, Tilak Mehta. He has started his own startup, that is Papers and Parcels. Then Shri Lakshmi Suresh, he has started a company, E-Design and Tini Logo. Then Trini Arora, Trishneet Arora, who is the founder of TAC Security. And then Akhilendra Sahu, AST Technologies Private Limited. Then Divya Gandotra Tandon, the founder of Scoop Beats Private Limited. Then Farhat Acidwala, the Rock Stack Media and Cybernet IV Digital. Then Kavita Shukla is the founder of the Fresh Glow Company. Then Ranveer Alapadia, who is the founder of Beer Biceps, and he is also co-founder of Monk E, and Sumit Shah, founder of Dukaan app. So these are the examples which I have taken from the latest successful entrepreneurs. They have set up very new ideas, new ventures, new businesses, new startups, and they think differently. They have the desire to take risk. So these are the entrepreneurs about whom we just talked right now. If you want, you can go into much detail. What is their business, what all they are doing, how they started the business, then what challenges they face. You can go through the case studies of these different founders of different businesses, or you can say the startups. So now, next we will discuss about the various classifications of entrepreneurs. So broadly, there are different classifications of entrepreneurs. We will go one by one. So the first is based on the business type. The type of business, the nature of business. So on the basis of the type of business, the entrepreneurs may be classified into three types, that is trading entrepreneurs, manufacturing entrepreneurs, and agricultural entrepreneurs. The name is by the name it is very clear that trading entrepreneurs are the entrepreneurs who do not manufacture anything. They just purchase the goods and they resell the goods to the end customers. Then manufacturing entrepreneurs are those entrepreneurs who produce the goods, manufacture the goods in the industrial plant, in the factories, and then they sell it in the market. And third one is agricultural entrepreneurs. Agricultural entrepreneurs are those entrepreneurs who are agriculture based, who are into agriculture based industry, who produce agricultural goods, who produce various farming products, and then they sell it in the market for profits. Then another classification is based on the technology. On the basis of technology, there are two types of entrepreneurs: technical entrepreneurs and non-technical entrepreneurs. The third one is based on the ownership. On the basis of ownership, entrepreneurs may be classified into three categories: the private entrepreneurs, state entrepreneurs, and joint entrepreneurs. Private entrepreneurs are those entrepreneurs who invest their own capital, who are the owner of the, who invest their own resources in starting their business. State entrepreneurs are those entrepreneurs who are the government organizations, and joint entrepreneurs is the combination of both, like semi-government organizations. Based on the gender, we can classify the men entrepreneurs and women entrepreneurs. Men entrepreneurs are those entrepreneurs who are owned by the men's or males, and women entrepreneurs are the entrepreneurs which are owned, which are controlled by the women's. Next classification is the based on the entrepreneurship size. So on the basis of this classification, there are three types of enterprises: small scale enterprises, medium scale entrepreneurs, and the large scale enterprise. And another last classification, that is based on Clarence Denhoff. He has classified the entrepreneurs into 4 categories. This we will see in details. The one is innovating entrepreneurs, initiative entrepreneurs, Fabian entrepreneurs, and drone entrepreneurs. So as these are some new classifications, so we will see the classification which is given by Denhoff. So innovative, imperative, Fabian, and drone. So first, the innovative entrepreneur. Who is an innovative entrepreneur? In this category of entrepreneur, the entrepreneur is categorized by innovativeness. This type of entrepreneurs sense the opportunities for introduction of new products, new technology, discovering of new markets, and creating new organizations. Such entrepreneurs can work only when certain level of development is already achieved and people look forward to change and improve. Such entrepreneurs are very much helpful for their country because they bring about a transformation in the lifestyle of the people. Because they come up with new ideas. They go beyond the traditional process, traditional methods. The next one is the adoptive and, or you can say, the imitative entrepreneur. Imitative is the one who copies, the one who duplicates. So such entrepreneurs imitate the existing entrepreneur and set their enterprise in the same manner. Instead of innovation, may just adopt the technology and methods innovated by others. They don't do anything new. Such types of entrepreneurs are particularly suitable for underdeveloped countries for imitating the new combination of production already available in the developed countries. So their idea is not new. Whatever the traditional way the businesses are going on, they just follow that practices. The next is the Fabian entrepreneurs. So this Fabian entrepreneurs are characterized by great caution and skepticism in experimenting any change in their enterprise. They imitate only when it becomes perfectly clear and clear that failure to do so would result in a loss of relative position in the enterprises. So they are a little bit cautious. They imitate only when they are very much doubtful whether they assume that there are chances of failure if some change is not adopted by them. And the fourth type, that is the drone entrepreneurs. Such entrepreneurs are very, very conservative or orthodox in outlook. They always feel comfortable with their old-fashioned technology of production, even though technologies have changed. And they never like to get rid of their own traditional businesses, traditional machineries, and traditional system of business, even at the cost of the reduced returns. So they are the drone entrepreneurs. A very good example is the camera company who did not adopt with the new changes, with the new technology. You can take example of mobile company Nokia, who did not adopt the latest changes, and finally it failed in the market. So such entrepreneurs are known as the drone entrepreneurs. They don't want to change. They are very reluctant to change. Fabians are little bit ready to change if they have a comprehension that they may fail if they do not adopt the change. But these people, they don't worry about any failure. If failure takes place, they are least bothered. But they will not change themselves. So this is the basic difference between these two enterprises. So next is the entrepreneurship opportunities. So there are various entrepreneurship opportunities which are available in a country, which are available not only within the country, outside the countries. So the entrepreneurs, first of all, they must have an idea. They must explore the opportunity. Once they have explored the opportunity, then they can go for entrepreneurship. So what are the opportunities? First is the expansion of entrepreneurial activities, and which can be through the advent of internet and the explosion of e-commerce on a global scale. So they can go for, if any business is going on a traditional mode, if it is on a physical mode, they can just upgrade that existing business with the help of digitalization, with the help of e-commerce, like what Amazon is doing, what Zomato is doing. So this is nothing but this is just the expansion of entrepreneurial activities by explosion of the e-commerce. Then next is the integration in social and political fabrics in several emerging economies. So the entrepreneurship must have an understanding of social and economic fabrics of different countries, and accordingly they can think of the business and go ahead with their endeavors. The next is the increasing economic situations in middle income households in several economies. Then another opportunity is increase in cross-border engagements and market entry mechanism, such as strategic alliances, subsidiaries, joint ventures, licensing. So these are also some of the opportunities which are available for the entrepreneurs. Then evolving trends in channel structures among the developed world. Through the channel structures, maybe the physical distribution channel or any other way, in the latest trends in doing the business, the entrepreneurs can take the benefit of the opportunities. And next is the increased engagements in the global markets concerning social responsibility and ethics. Nowadays, the corporate social responsibility, business ethics, these are the buzzwords, and social entrepreneur, these are some buzzwords, and the entrepreneur has a lot of opportunity in the social responsibility and ethics of the business. So now we will see what are the entrepreneurship avenues which are available to the entrepreneur. So contemporary market offers several avenues for the entrepreneurial activities at global level. So what are these avenues which are open for the entrepreneur at global level? Firstly, the entrepreneurs can seek information to understand the balance of trade relation between the exports in the potential market and in merchandising the imports. So the entrepreneurs must carry on a survey for having a better understanding about the balance of trade and better understanding about the exports and imports of a particular country. Secondly, the entrepreneurs can conduct extensive research to understand the political aspects of global economy to seek other outlines for strategic and operational aspects concerning barriers to enter a market. important avenue is to conduct extensive research for a better understanding about the political aspects of a global economy. And thirdly, the entrepreneurs can also understand the developments of any domestic market of a country and comprehend how these nations protect their industry by establishing tariff, quotas, boycotts, non-tariff monetary and market barriers. So these are the various avenues which are open for any entrepreneur before before implementing any business opportunity. So this will help the entrepreneur in taking a correct decision regarding the entrepreneurship. So we all know that wherever there are opportunities, there are also some challenges. So the same is with the case of entrepreneurship. Now we will discuss the various challenges which are there for any entrepreneurship. So the first challenge is the knowledge gap between developed, emerging, frontier and underdeveloped markets for conducting the business. So this is a very important challenge, that until and unless the entrepreneur understands the developed, emerging and frontier and underdeveloped markets, he cannot go ahead with the entrepreneurship. Second thing is difference in accounting system in several countries. So every country follows different accounting system. So if a particular entrepreneur wants to enter into doing business with another country, then he must first understand the various accounting system, accounting procedure in that particular country. Then the variable rates of return, this is also very important. Then non-convertibility of the currencies. So for doing any business in other country, the currency of that particular country will not be of any use. The entrepreneur must first convert that particular currency in the currency of that particular country where he wants to set up the business, and he must also have a great understanding about the currency rates of different countries. Like for example, the value of dollar is very high from the value of rupees, and the currency of Nepal is lower than the currency of Nepal is the rupees, that is also very low than the currency of the country. So this understanding is also required, and this is a great challenge. Then communication gap. Yes, of course, the communication gap, the way of communication, the language, the culture, so many things vary from country to country. So when you want to do business in other country, you must first of all understand the communication system, the language, the culture and other aspects of that particular country. Then only you can succeed in the particular business. And the next is the language barrier. Of course, this is also very important, very important challenge for any entrepreneur, because if we see in our country itself, so there are so many languages, there are so many sub-languages, there are so many dialects. So if dealing with a single country is so difficult, then you can just imagine it would be how difficult to do a business into a different countries. So the language is also a very big challenge or a barrier in an entrepreneur avenue. The next is the political unrest and legal concerns. Like the political situation, one must understand what is the political situation of the other country. Like recently we can see there is a war is going on in Ukraine and Russia. So there is a political unrest. Okay, like in our country there is this is the election season, and similarly in other countries also. Then this politics and legal concerns have a great impact on the business. So this is also one of the challenge. Then the cultural differences. This I have covered already in the previous point, that the countries varies in their culture, in their traditional, in their customs. So one must have an understanding. If you are not able to understand the cultural differences of the other country, then it would be a great difficulty for doing a business in the other nation. The next is the discrepancies in the use of technology. Discrepancies also arise because the developed countries, they are already using the advanced technology. If we talk of developing nations, they are a little bit not so good in the technology, and if we talk of the underdeveloped nations, they are very, very poor in the technology. So there are a lot of discrepancies in the use of the technology due to the different levels of the economic development of the countries. So this is also one of the great challenges. If a country who is technically, if an entrepreneur who belongs to a developing country or a underdeveloped country, he must not be using any sound technology, and this will be a challenge for him to sell the goods and the goods produced in his own country in the developed countries. Then complexity in the markets. So there are different kinds of market structures. So one must first of all understand the market structure, the complexity of the market, the demand and supply. So many things are related to the market conditions. So until and unless you understand the customers' choice, preferences, taste, and the market, you cannot successfully run your business. So this is also a great challenge for any entrepreneur. Next is the supply chain concerns. Supply chain includes all the logistics and other aspects, the distribution channel, the distribution system, and other supply chain. So supply chain management is also one of the great challenge in the entrepreneurship. And the next is the lack of specific infrastructure in some countries or regions. So in some business, some entrepreneurial businesses, there may be a need of some specific infrastructure, and the country which is not economically sound, if a country is economically backward or a developing country, then in such situation, first of all the entrepreneur has the challenge to establish a specific infrastructure for doing a particular business. Like for example, if we take example of opening of FDIs in our country, then the countries felt that our country is not having sufficient infrastructure for running the FDIs. So they invested in the FDI, they opened their own ventures in the form of FDIs, and then they generated the market. And the next is the financial market and their volatility. So this is also a great challenge. One must have the understanding of financial market, the volatility of the market, so that the entrepreneur can run smoothly. So these are the number of challenges which are open for any entrepreneurship. So the entrepreneur must be ready to accept the challenges and manage the enterprise by taking the risk, in the role of the entrepreneurship in the economic development of a country. Then we discussed about the process of entrepreneurship. Then we have seen the different kind of classification of entrepreneurs. Then we also talked about the various entrepreneurship avenues. We discussed about the opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities. We discussed about the challenges. Now let us see the entrepreneurial culture. Now this entrepreneurial culture is also a very important aspect which has to be understood. Without this entrepreneurial culture, one cannot think of entrepreneurship development. There has to be a culture. A culture has to be developed in any organization, in any country, so that we can give birth to more and more job providers rather than job seekers. So an entrepreneurial culture consists of a group of individuals who have suppressed individual interest in an effort to achieve group success, because group success will advance their individual interests. So it is always better to do a work in a team, in a group, so that the success is comparatively more guaranteed in a group activity. So entrepreneurial culture can be described as entrepreneurial culture can be described as an environment where someone is motivated to innovate, create and take risks in a business. An entrepreneurial culture means that employees are encouraged to brainstorm their new ideas or products. So if due to some other reasons, if a person is not able to start up his own business, to invest his own resources, then for any business, for any organization, it is the responsibility of the owners to create an entrepreneurial culture, an environment where the employees are encouraged to brainstorm new ideas or products. Means they must be given full liberty to think in a different way, to apply their knowledge, apply their new ideas and execute the same. So a hand holding must be given to the how this concept is being coined. So as per the definition given by Wickham, which was cited in Browson in the year 2013, the word entrepreneur is an adjective word that is given to describe how the entrepreneur undertakes what they do, and using the adjective entrepreneur demonstrates a particular style of what entrepreneur do. So this is an adjective word. What is entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is what the entrepreneur do. On the other hand, Brownson mentions the term culture, that is defined as the attributes, values, beliefs, behavior in which on the individual learns or acquires from one generation to another. The transfer of these certain attributes, values, beliefs, behavior show the intentions of fostering a certain type of culture. So one author has given described the meaning of entrepreneurial, and another has explained the term culture, and therefore the union of these two terms has been conceptualized as a society that enhances the exhibition of attributes, values, beliefs and behaviors that are related to entrepreneurs. That is the entrepreneurial culture. So friends, I end here. Thank you very much, and we will discuss the other aspects of entrepreneurship development in the upcoming lectures. Thank you.